Inside the ropes with Caitlin Clark, WNBA superstar, was LPGA box office. Even if she did hit a fan, the first golden shards of sunlight had only begun to stretch over Bellevue, Florida, when the hundreds of fans who had risen at the crack of dawn horseshoed around the first tee box at the Pelican Golf Club to secure their front rope spot Wednesday morning. It was an unusual sight for the 7 a.m. tee time of a simple Pro-Am. Signs had been boldly and brightly decorated. Spectators were stacked decks deep, and the crammed crowd, young and old, male and female, jostled in anticipation. Yet, when the first group finally ascended to the tee box, all eyes were not on world number 1 Nelly Korda. No, instead they were on the LPGA's main attraction of the week. A 16 handicapper, Caitlin Clark, joked in September that she'd pledge her WNBA off-season to becoming a professional golfer. At the Onica Pro-Am, she may as well have already been one. Korda, a two-time major winner and Olympic gold medalist, may be used to attracting spectators in their droves to the fairways, but Wednesday was unquestionably the Caitlin Clark show to cries of, from the logo, and Let's Go 22, the basketball superstar, dressed head to toe in Nike with baby pink shoes and statement gold swooshes, teed off with a club twirl flourish and assured strut off the tee box. It was the confident Clark the WNBA has become well acquainted with over the course of the past season. Only this time, the course had replaced the court as her stage, related video. Did Caitlin Clark have the best WNBA rookie season of all time? The quick report. Playing the first 9 holes with Korda and later 10-time major winning legend Annika Sorenstam, following the turn the 22-year-old was the blockbuster headliner in the Shamble competition. The day before she took to the fairways, Clark told the media that her claims of targeting a tour card were all in jest, before revealing her goal for the tournament. Hit the ball, not the fans. That goal lasted a total of 2 holes. Clark accidentally shanked her tee shot at the third straight into the fans watching on to the left, miraculously avoiding hitting a spectator by inches. The crowd brushed off the errant blunder with a wry chuckle as Clark reloaded and fired off a second attempt at the par 3. Clark herself managed to take the incident in good humor, later joking that she hadn't hit anyone yet. Yet being the key word. 6 holes later her self-inflicted prophecy was fulfilled when another wayward tee shot did appear to find a poor unsuspecting fan. Not that they seemed too upset. The pain worth the reward of a signed souvenir from Clark, littered with misses to the right and the occasional below-par duffs, but highlighted with crisp approach shots and impressive short game. Clark's round could be described as turbulent at best. But it was a round that every amateur golfer, and even some professionals, could relate to. Golf isn't her first love. It is a hobby she might play once a week with friends, usually for little more than bragging rights. Her enthusiasm for the game was infectious. With cheeky digs at her own performance and passionate fist pumps and heel clicks to celebrate shots, Clark lit up the masses. Her scenic route around the Pelican Golf Club, especially under the influence of understandable nerves, could easily be forgiven. Not that it would have mattered if she had walked off 18, the next coming of Tiger Woods himself, or a hacking Happy Gilmore. The spectators wouldn't have cared either way. The crowd, the majority of whom appeared to have never watched a shot of golf in their lives, was left in awe of any simple shot Clark executed. Even the close calls with catastrophe went over well. Caitlin and Ashley Nennew stood at the side of the third tee when Clark's wayward drive came barreling towards them. To most people, a golf ball hurtling towards them at high speed would be terrifying. To them, it was exciting. They had traveled from Chicago just to watch Clark play the Pro-Am and, being lifelong Bulls fans, likened the former Iowa Hawkeye to the great Michael Jordan himself. The chance of getting a basketball from her is impossible, they told DailyMail.com, so we thought we'd try and get a golf ball instead. The sisters were among the foragers who rushed to scavenge in a nearby bougainvillea bush to snatch the dimpled treasure of Clark's stray ball. Thorns be damned by this point. Their desperation was no surprise. Clark may have been playing with icons of the game, Korda and Sorenstam, but with one sweeping glance across the fairways it was clear who the thousands had gathered for. Golf is a sport known for its strict dress codes. On Wednesday, though, there was only one uniform: fever jerseys, head-to-toe Iowa yellow and black, handmade T-shirts professing their love. They had come from far and wide, sacrificing days of work for a glimpse of Clark. One fan, Stan, told DailyMail.com that he had driven 8 hours from Georgia for the celebrity tournament, while another, a recent graduate from Clark's alma mater, Iowa, took a flight down from Chicago. Several young girls were dotted throughout the crowd, holding posters that read, "Go Hawks," and "Thank you, Caitlin." "Okay, girls, ready for school now?" One mother could be heard asking her 2 daughters at 7:25 a.m. as the first group wrapped up on the second green and the clock struck midnight on their Caitlin Clark fairy tale. Others weren't so conscientious, believing witnessing Clark in person was a life experience worth more than anything they could learn in school. LPGA USGA Girls Golf brought 15 students, mainly from the Miami area, admitting they had skipped school to see Korda and Clark together. But in their defense, there's no better duo. Skiving certainly paid off for 9-year-old Hadley Johnson, who attended the Pro-Am with her dad Delmar, friend Isla Marino, 10, and her mother Jacqueline Marino. Amid the chaos of Clark's escape from the mob of hysterical fans at the 18th green, she flung a signed glove over the crowd into Hadley's waiting hands. It was a prize that her dad insisted the starstruck youngster would have framed and treasure forever. Even the pros got in on the action as groups behind called over to the fans flocking Clark and her playing partners to ask how she was faring. Maria Fassi dashed on to the 18th fairway as Clark approached the green in a fangirl moment, while other pros were spotted behind the ropes for once, watching on with their caddies or asking for selfies from the edge of the green. Retiring Brittany Lincecum used her farewell press conference to shine the spotlight on Clark when the Seminole native gushed about the WNBA star's impact, before asking Clark to sign a basketball for her daughters. It was impossible to keep a twinge of sympathy at bay for Clark's playing partners, Gainbridge Sir Dan Turris and his friend Jason Ricard, who plotted their way around the course against the background of mayhem. While May 22nd be used to the bright lights, they aren't. Yet, even they appeared to be in on the act. On the back of Ricard's white shirt were 4 numbers, circled, which represented his 4 favorite Iowa Hawkeye athletes of all time. Number 24, football player Niall Kinnick. Number 16, quarterback Chuck Long. Number 23, Roy Marble, Iowa's all-time leading scorer in men's basketball. And of course, number 22, Clark.